So how do I use little individual dry erase boards in the classroom, and why? Well, the reason why is because it will save so much time grading. I used to grade so many things that were not necessary, like do nows or warm-ups or sponge activities, whatever it is you want to call them. I do all of my do nows in this every morning, and I keep my students accountable, so all of them do it. Sometimes, very rarely, I will have them do the do nows on a paper if I actually want to keep that paper for a specific reason. But other than that, all my do nows are done in the dry erase board, and that is the expectation. So how do I handle the do nows with dry erase boards? My students walk into the room and they know that they're to grab a dry erase board. We need this just about every day in the class. They will have the do now projected, they have to complete it, and then once I take attendance, I call on them, and I call on about 3 to 5 students to share, and I will try to, with questions, I will try to integrate the rest of the class by asking questions like, oh, you know, somebody mentioned something, I say, well, who feels that way too, or who agrees, and things like that, so that several kids are raising their hand throughout. And so I involve everybody in the do now, even though I only check maybe on 3 to 5 kids, I call on them to actually share answers. And then at the end, what I do is I tell everybody, enséñame tu pizarra, and they all have to show me their dry erase board. And that is how they know that I am keeping track of that. And if they don't have it done, I may not call them out on the spot at that moment, but I will tell them later on, hey, what happened? Or can I help you complete the do now? Did you understand it, or what's going on? So I'll check up on that. But yes, this is how I use the dry erase boards for the do nows. That's number 1. Number 2, many activities. Think about the activities you provide for your learners. What activity absolutely needs to be done on paper that you need to collect, and which activities can you just quickly do on the dry erase board, and they can do it in there. They don't need to keep it. If they don't need to keep it as notes and you're not collecting it up, then it needs to be done in here, because it's going to keep the students accountable, and it's going to keep you with your sanity, because you won't have to take so many papers home. So on that note, I use the same strategy. I just ask questions, I call on students, and then I tell everybody, enséñame, and they all show me. So I'm just always making sure that I'm looking at everybody's dry erase board. But again, I use them for do nows. Any activity that's either not necessary for note taking or I'm not gonna collect goes right here. And then also when we're doing group activities and we're keeping tabs of things, we also use this. I mean, I cannot, honestly, like, I need to brainstorm all the ways in which I use my dry erase board. Over the last couple of years, I cannot see my classroom without my dry erase boards.